Hey everybody, welcome to Killing Time. This is the show that searches for entertainment that does not suck. I am IA. And with me as always is Juice Pop, the Florida Gator. Do not confuse him with the Croc, because he does not have a very narrow snout, as I learned at the Museum of Natural History the other day. Not that Juice Pop doesn't have a narrow snout, but that Crocs have narrow snouts.
The Crocs, the difference between a crocodile and an alligator. Yeah, I picked up what you're putting down.
That's one of many differences, and also he is not a crocodile, in case you were concerned in the audio quality. This show has gone completely off the rails in less than 2 minutes.
Yes, I already jumped the shark and we're just getting started.
I don't know if sharks are in the exhibit, but let's talk about entertainment that doesn't suck. Last Man on Earth. It's a new fall season. A lot of stuff's on television again. It's no longer, I'm not stuck watching Scorned, which is a very good show. If you haven't watched it, it's essentially not softcore porn, but almost.
Close. Very close.
Now, before, I kind of feel like I have to explain what Scorned is.
Yes, you do.
Do you know the show?
I do know the show, but please explain it.
Scorned is an investigation discovery program, and investigation discovery programs are kind of sleazy-ish at times, and they kind of, in this particular show, there is the tale of a couple, and one of the couple just couldn't sustain being away from the other one. So usually it leads to death, or somebody's shot, or there's property damage or something, but usually death. But what they do when they cast the people for the dramatizations, these are incredibly fit, attractive people who are constantly having simulated sex. And not like softcore porn, like where it's actual nudity, because it's cable television. It's very clothed and obviously not sex, but it is relatively amusing because you're watching what's relatively hilarious. Also, there's always death at the end. So again, it kind of mixes things up. So if you're easily confused and you're putting these things together, don't do this right now. But it's an entertaining show, Scorned, on Investigation Discovery.
Okay, back to Last Man on Earth, which is what you were segueing into before you took that side trail.
Yeah, rails, I don't have any. Last Man on Earth, the third season premiere was just on Sunday the 25th. I bothered to actually get the title and the plot synopsis down. The plot, the actual title started was General Breast Theme with Cobras, which tells you about the episode. And the plot, three men, including Pat Brown, also known as that guy from Sons of Anarchy, storm Tandy and his friends. Tandy's group has to decide how to handle these people. That's the short plot summary. What do you think?
Yeah, that covers it. Okay, but it doesn't cover the best cameo ever.
Okay, so I don't know if we should even spoil that.
I know, but I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say who it was. Best cameo ever.
This cameo, so I'm not going to even tell you when it happens or how it happens. There's a cameo on this show that makes so much sense that when this cameo is shown, you're like, no way. And then you're like, this is really cool. It's a great surprise in the course of the episode. So we won't spoil too much about this episode, I guess, because it is brand new. What did you think of the third season premiere? Do you think it's still as strong as the other two seasons? I
think so far I'm kind of hooked. It's really interesting where they're going with it. Like you said, I don't want to spoil anything, but stuff goes down, and I'm interested to see how the group deals with it moving forward.
The amount of progress that happens on this show per episode, or a couple of episodes, is relatively... It's a lot. It's kind of like a Spanish soap opera. Stuff just moves. People show up, people disappear, things change, status quos are changed. One spoilery moment, which I don't think will ruin your enjoyment of the show, is when they blow up the Santa Monica Pier. With a bazooka, I think it is, or something.
Yeah.
And it is this tiny... It's a small scene in the episode, because you see this Ferris wheel, and it's all this destruction, and you're just watching it happen, and you're like... Right, because in the first couple of episodes, the first season, there's a lot of this just ridiculous wanton destruction because there's who else is around, so why bother?
Yeah, no one's left,
But I quite enjoyed that. What do you think of Pat Brown, whose name, again, I don't know what the actor's name is, but he's the guy, he was the guy in Sons of Anarchy, I think it was Bruce in that show.
Right, and he's been, he was on Last Man on Earth last season. He's the guy on the boat, which... I don't know if people know, that Tandy's brother hooked up with at one point, his brother Mike, I think he's a good character. I mean, crazy as a loon and never know what he's going to do kind of thing.
Yeah, I think this episode might be Tandy at his, I wouldn't say most likable, but he's very likable in this episode.
Absolutely. He's not, there aren't as many cringe moments with him in this episode as there usually are.
Yes, but like is normal, Tandy makes bad decisions, which is always fun. It's just seeing the progress with all the characters and see where they're going. It's really fun. I don't think that it's easy to even predict where the show's going, how it's going to go, and how it's going to get there, because it's still really fun. As you said, it moves. Because by the end of the episode, well, they're on the move. And so you're like, well, what happens now?
Exactly.
Kind of like how season 2 ended when they were being stormed. They're like, oh, farts. Which, again, that's going to come back into my vocabulary thanks to watching the show again. Because it's a great, great phrase, oh, farts.
Speaking of shows where they use words that aren't actual swears for swear words, have you watched The Good Place with Kristen Bell?
No, I haven't. Now, I've seen the bus ad for, I believe, Ted Danson and Kristen Bell, and right there, I was like, no. You're obviously banking on star power. I think the show, just on that alone, scared me enough that it's not going to be good. But you've seen the show? I
have, but I don't want... It's on Hulu. Go watch it. We'll talk about it next week or the week after. Just watch an episode. I don't want to influence your opinion. I want to see what you think of it.
It's called The Good Place.
The Good Place, yeah.
I don't know, Ted Danson.
And there's been because of the way they did it, there's been 3 episodes already.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. That's a preview for the next episode.
Yep.
Have you been watching Modern Family at all?
I didn't catch the beginning of this season yet, no.
All right, so season 8, the season premiere happened. I'm not going to spoil it for you because, actually, it's not much to spoil. It's a sitcom. You guys have probably seen it by now. It's been on television for a very long time. I think the show is on the wane. Like, it's kind of like, okay.
You think I thought that last season, so if that's even more so this season, then...
Well, I think the first episode might be better than some of the stuff the last season, but it's just kind of feels like it is more of the same. It's a really good show. I mean, it's technically very sound. The acting is very good. The characters are decent, but the characters at this point, they're starting to feel they're not growing as much.
Right. Well, but it's hard to make something not feel stale after 8 years.
Yeah. You know? That's really fair. So maybe there'll be some kind of reinvention. I think I'd read some news that Modern Family, one of the directors, creators, were talking about having more kids on the program, which I always think is a death knell. Once you start adding another kid, go see The Cosby Show when they had another Growing Pains. Cosby Show's got other reasons why. But it's basically wiped from memory at this point. Yeah. This is one of the worst. Yep. Like, that show was really good, but I am not comfortable watching it now. So thanks a lot for ruining that, jerk.
Yeah.
So let's just move on to something else. I've been watching a lot of YouTube recently.
What have you been watching?
YouTube.com/FluidICBeats. Now, I didn't know this.
The guy who does the comics.
Comics Explained. You look up Comics Explained as a search on YouTube. This shows up. I've been watching a lot of it. I just watched a video today. It was how to theoretically kill Wolverine and Deadpool, which is fun if you... So you watch this channel?
Yeah, I've actually been watching it a lot lately to try and understand what's going on with all the DC Rebirth and Marvel new stuff that's going on without actually having to read all the comics.
Yeah, and right now there's a deal at Marvel Unlimited, and like they're not a sponsor. If they were, you would know. But there's a deal right now that I think you can get Marvel Unlimited for about $60 a year. So $5 a month, that sounds pretty good. So I'd like to sort of get my feet wet again with this, although, like we talked about in previous episodes, the fact that there's been this huge, all-new, all-different shift, it's frightening to me to even enter such a thing. But then again, you get access to a large library. DC just doesn't have that kind of unlimited plan, which irks me.
Yeah, because it actually looks like right now I'm more interested in what DC's doing than I am in what Marvel's doing.
Right, because DC's shows to me are way more fun. You got the Flash. I like to read old Flash stuff. I want to read all the Mark Waid things. I don't know if that's available anywhere. I have to look this up because I just enjoyed that kind of storytelling when it comes to comic books. Also, I guess Marvel Unlimited. I could read Mark Waid's Captain America run way back. We used to read that in the late 90s. He was there. Really reinvented Captain America. Really was fun. Not the modern Hydra version, but anyway, Comics Explained. Really good. Basically 10-minute videos, I'd say. Sometimes they go a little longer. Sometimes they're a little shorter. well researched. At least I think they are. Maybe he's completely lying. Maybe he's completely full of BS. I don't really think that's the case. But there's a lot of explanation, good opinion there. So if you're looking into comic books, right? Because right now, both of us, we're just kind of like, did we go back in? Do we not?
Easy. Yeah. We're kind of on the border. Do we do it? Do we not? Do we know it?
It's like, or just watch this guy's channel and just keep up to date on that. I also watch every now and then a show called Variant. You ever heard of that one? Mm-hmm. Which is all right. I don't mind it. Those are very short, about 3 or 4 minute episodes. They're very snackable. You get a lot of history. It's a good program. I think it started off in Revision 3, which changed into something else, but I don't know the history of that. But those are 2 other videos. If you're like, I don't want to watch this show, go watch those. Those are pretty good. I like those. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be a very short episode for today. What do you think?
Concise. I like it.
So let's thank everybody at Patreon. Now, we've lost a few backers. Now, you guys, strangely enough, some of you guys have actually written me messages to explain why you're no longer backing. There's been some people with their family issues and things like that. That's totally cool. If you can't, if you can't, if you need to take your money and worry about your family, totally makes sense. But thank you.
We absolutely understand.
Yeah,
yes,
thank you for
thank
writing
you.
and explaining, and thank you for supporting the show for so long. And last month, I didn't think we did enough content. I actually refunded everybody's money. So if you are watching this and you're like, wait a minute, I didn't receive my refund, check your email. I think it's got to be processed through Patreon, so just got to press a button or two. So check that out, because I was just all over the place last month. This month, I'm trying to make sure we get episodes out. So that's why this episode's going to be tiny and tight, and we're not talking about Scorned again. Anyway. Ha!
Nice. End on that.